The moment those enemy columns start rolling, the Arton Syndicate's FPV drone operators and artillery crews snap into defensive positions. Boom, the first 3 infantry fighting vehicles get nailed and go up in flames a full 8 kilometers before even reaching the contact line. Then the rest of the APCs? They're next. FPV drones zero in and strike one massive explosion after another. Before we dive into all of this, let us know in the comments where you're watching this video from. Connecting with viewers across the world is a huge source of inspiration for us. The Ukrainian mission is crystal clear. Wipe out the convoy before it gets anywhere near their positions or brings those Russian artillery batteries into the fight, and it works. One by one, the advancing vehicles are picked off by drone operators with deadly precision. With their armor gone, the Russian infantry has no choice. They ditch their vehicles and scatter into the fields exposed, disorganized, and on the run. The Ukrainian units zero in on clearing the battlefield their top priority. Finish off the immobilized Russian vehicles. Artillery and drone strikes hit one after another, no break in the tempo. One by one, the enemy's machines are taken out. A few Russian armored vehicles still in working condition try to make a run for it, but the drone crews stay locked in. No escape. Every last target gets hunted down and eliminated. Thanks to a sharp, professional operation led by Ukraine's Romeo 10 unit, backed by other branches of the armed forces, the attack is shut down before it even really begins. And then here comes another Russian convoy assault. And just like clockwork, things fall apart right out of the gate. A Russian mine-clearing tank pushes forward and somehow avoids damage at first. But up ahead, there's a serious obstacle in its path. The tank tries to blast its way through with a single shot. Total fail. Seconds later, Ukrainian tanks roll into action. They open fire. Precise. Relentless. Just a few well-placed hits, and that tank's done for. Game over? One of the Russian infantry fighting vehicles manages to drop off its troops, but the crew panics and bails. Too late. The Ukrainians already have a javelin locked and loaded. One shot boom. The ammo inside cooks off, triggering a massive explosion. The rest of the convoy tries to retreat, but Ukraine's drone teams are relentless. One by one, they hunt the vehicles down. A Russian tank crew tries to hide their ride in the forest, but it's no use. The UAV spots it immediately. If you're still watching, comment 1 so I know you're still with me. Panicked, the crew fires up at the drone, desperate to shoot it down. Doesn't matter, they don't stand a chance. Minutes later, 2 more tanks are turned into smoking wrecks. And then comes one more fatal mistake. A Russian vehicle keeps advancing, completely clueless about what's waiting for it. But the drone knows. It's already locked in. The result? You can see the fireball from kilometers away. Flash forward to April 2025. The Ukrainian 31st Mechanized Brigade picks up movement. Another Russian armored unit spotted near the Zaporizhia front. Ukrainian forces are ready, no hesitation. Artillery lights up the sky, one barrage after another, then a massive detonation. Russian units are stunned, thrown into total chaos. The lead vehicle of the retreating convoy takes a direct hit and bursts into flames, dragging the blaze with it as it tries to push forward. But the heat sets off its ammunition, and just like that, the whole vehicle is obliterated. And it sets off a chain reaction, turning the rest of the convoy into scrap metal. Mission complete. Enemy destroyed. Moments later, Ukrainian forces detect another group of Russian invaders pushing towards Siversk. 6 armored vehicles, tanks, IFVs, the works rolling in. The Ukrainian drone crews track every move, watching the column inch forward. Then, go time. Artillery rains down. The Russian convoy falls apart. Formation lost. In the chaos, they try to reroute. These Russian convoy attacks have become a defining pattern in the war. They're no longer rare or improvised. It's a full-blown war of attrition, with columns rolling in every week, sometimes every single day on the most brutal stretches of the front. Since day one of the invasion, Russia's playbook has leaned hard on massive armored convoys to move troops, ammo, and supplies to the front lines. We're talking tanks, IFVs, APCs, and trucks packed with munitions, sometimes 10 vehicles deep, sometimes 30 or more, but every one of them is a rolling bullseye. Sometimes it's 10 vehicles, sometimes it's 30 or more. But either way, these huge convoys are basically rolling bullseyes, perfect targets for Ukraine's advanced drone network and intel teams. In fact, they're often start tailing them right away, feeding back live footage showing speed, gaps in formation, and soft spots in the line. Then comes the green light. The first hit nearly always comes from an FPV drone. it slams straight into the lead tank or infantry fighting vehicle with surgical precision. That one strike is enough to stop the whole thing in its tracks, blocking the road and trapping everything behind it. That's when the real rain starts. Ukrainian artillery locks in on the stalled column and starts hammering it with pinpoint accuracy. In just minutes, tanks are burning, ammo trucks are blowing sky high, and thick black smoke is curling up into the sky, visible for miles. And in all that chaos, the Russian crews, they usually try to ditch their busted vehicles in forests or hide them in abandoned barns. Doesn't matter. Ukrainian drone operators have thermal vision. They'll find you. And when they do, if drones don't finish the job, anti-tank teams with javelins step in and deliver the kill shot. One clean hit, and that hidden armored vehicle becomes a flaming crater. But these strikes aren't just about taking out gear. They cut way deeper, right into Russian morale. When frontline troops realize the resupply convoy isn't coming, they crack. Positions get abandoned. Offensives fall apart. It turns into pure survival mode. And the only reason Ukraine can keep pulling off hits like this? Cutting-edge tech and near-perfect coordination. Recon drones find the targets. Artillery waits on call. Drones swarm. Ground teams stand ready. Every piece locked in. Nothing left to chance. Real-time comms and GPS-fed targeting systems guide the artillery. FPV drones swoop in close, swarming the convoy. Meanwhile, anti-tank teams can't hide that. Raw footage from the front shows it all: explosions lighting up the night, plumes of black smoke climbing into the sky, shattered wrecks dotting the highways. It's right there for the world to see. In this war, convoy ambushes have grown into something much bigger than just a battlefield tactic. They're now a full-blown strategic weapon, reshaping the fight in real time. Every armored column that gets destroyed tightens Ukraine's grip on its defensive lines and cuts deep into Russia's plans for any major offensive. If you're still watching, comment 1 so I know you're still with me. And here's what makes all of this way more important than it looks on the surface. This isn't just about a few drones taking out tanks. What we're witnessing is a total transformation in how modern war is fought, shifting from brute force armored tactics to something networked, surgical, and proactive. And Ukraine? They're not just adapting to this shift, they're leading it. And it's not just about money, it's about time and scale. These ambushes don't take weeks to plan. They're launched almost in real time, using live drone footage, GPS coordinates, and tips from local resistance, sometimes just a farmer texting in. In many cases, Ukraine has less than an hour from detection to strike and still delivers hits with surgical precision. Meanwhile, Russian forces, once proud of their traditional armored doctrine, are being forced to evolve or get wiped out. Systems like Krasuka 4 and Zhitel, built to blind drones, are being countered with frequency hopping, anti-jam transmitters, inertial navigation, and even autonomous drone networks, where units can talk to each other without human access. It's a masterclass in battlefield adaptation. And whether you're watching from a command center or sitting in a military academy classroom, one truth is impossible to ignore. The future of war is smaller, faster, cheaper, and smarter. So here's the question that's shaking up every military strategist right now. If a $500 drone can take out a $5 million tank, is the era of big, expensive war machines coming to an end? Are we witnessing the rise of cheap tech over traditional firepower? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear where you stand. And if you're into frontline tactics, battlefield analysis, and the kind of military knowledge mainstream media won't show you, go ahead, hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell, and stay locked in. Thanks for watching. Stay sharp, and we'll see you in the next mission. Are we witnessing the rise of cheap tech over traditional firepower? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear where you stand. And if you're into frontline tactics, battlefield analysis, and the kind of military knowledge mainstream media won't show you, go ahead, hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell, and stay locked in. Thanks for watching. Stay sharp, and we'll see you in the next mission. Input. This is drone-enabled electronic guerrilla warfare, and it's nearly impossible to stop. Zhitel. And the scariest part? This playbook is scalable. These aren't billion-dollar platforms that take years to build. These are garage-built kamikaze drones, assembled with off-the-shelf electronics and powered by open-source code off GitHub. In the hands of a well-trained pilot, they can cripple an entire regiment in under 5 minutes. This isn't just tactical success. Teams are locked and loaded, ready to finish off whatever's left. Every piece of the puzzle is connected. Nothing's left to chance. And the result? One well-executed strike lasting just a few minutes can wipe out a convoy worth tens of millions in tanks, APCs, and high-value gear. What's left behind? Charred tank shells, cooked-off ammo, scattered gear lying across scorched blacktop. These kinds of convoy takedowns have become almost routine, popping up across the entire front. From Zaporizhia to Donetsk, Luhansk to Severki. Every time a new convoy hits the road, it's just another sitting duck for Ukrainian recon. Each successful ambush chips away at Russia's ability to push deeper into Ukrainian territory. And maybe the wildest part? Most of these attacks are completely hidden from the Russian public. State media buries the losses under vague talk of tactical withdrawals or logistical issues. But the truth? Are we witnessing the rise of cheap tech over traditional firepower? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear where you stand. And if you're into frontline tactics, battlefield analysis, and the kind of military knowledge mainstream media won't show you, go ahead, hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell, and stay locked in. Thanks for watching. Stay sharp, and we'll see you in the next mission. Out, but it's useless. They're still well within range, and Ukrainian guns just keep firing. As the convoy gets closer, FPV drones join the fight. They dive in and strike. Another Russian vehicle tries to make a break for it and meets the same fiery fate. Thanks to a perfectly coordinated strike by two mechanized battalions from Ukraine's 54th Motorized Rifle Brigade, the entire attack gets wiped out. Over the past few months, spotted before they even leave base. Fixed surveillance systems, recon drone pilots, and even local resistance fighters help map out the routes, likely pit stops, and weak points. And places like Zaporizhia, Donetsk, Luhansk, and Severki, they've become the main battlegrounds for these high-stakes operations. And the playbook? It's almost always the same. The convoy kicks off tanks in front, followed by armored trucks and supply vehicles. Ukrainian recon drones